You feel it, don't you? That deep pull inside, like a shadow lurking in the corners of your soul. It whispers doubts, reminds you of failures, and keeps you questioning your worth. That shadow, that emptiness, that abyss, it's a part of you. But let me tell you something important. It doesn't own you. It never has, and it never will if you choose to confront it. The abyss within you isn't a flaw. It's not something to be ashamed of or something to fear. It's your forge, the place where your strength is born. I need you to understand this because for too long, you've let it paralyze you. You've let it dictate your life and keep you from reaching your full potential. But today that ends. I want you to think about the struggles you've faced, the times you felt like giving up, the moments that broke you. They weren't just obstacles, they were lessons. Painful, yes, but lessons nonetheless. Each scar you carry is a reminder of what you've endured. But more than that, it's proof of what you've overcome. Do you see that now? You've been running from the abyss because it feels easier. Turning away, distracting yourself, pretending it's not there. But avoidance doesn't bring peace. It only gives the abyss more power. The only way to truly conquer it is to face it head on, to step into the darkness, unafraid of what you might find. Because deep down, you already know what's there, it's you. Your fears, your failures, your doubts, but also your resilience, your courage, your strength. The abyss is not your enemy. It's a challenge. It's the fire that tempers steel, the storm that tests the roots of the tree. Without it, there's no growth, no transformation. Do you understand what I'm saying? The very thing you've been running from is the thing that will make you unstoppable, but only if you're willing to confront it. Ask yourself this: what am I afraid of? What is it about the abyss that makes me hesitate? Is it the pain of reliving old wounds, the fear of finding out that I'm not enough? Or is it something deeper, something harder to name? Whatever it is, I want you to hold on to it. Don't push it away. Don't numb it or suppress it. Hold it in your hands and look at it for what it really is. The truth is, you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. You've been through battles that others wouldn't survive. You've stood in the storm, beaten and bruised, but still standing. That's who you are, a fighter, a survivor, a force to be reckoned with. And yet you still doubt yourself. Why? The doubt you feel is the abyss talking. It wants you to stay small, to stay afraid, to stay hidden. But you are not small, you are not weak, and you are not meant to hide. You are meant to rise, to step into your power, to take control of your destiny. But that only happens when you stop running and start fighting. Not against the abyss, but with it. Use it as fuel, use it as a tool. Turn the darkness into your greatest source of strength. It won't be easy. I'm not going to lie to you and say it will be. There will be moments when you want to give up. Times when the darkness feels too overwhelming, too consuming. But that's when you dig deeper. That's when you remind yourself why you're doing this. Why you refuse to let the abyss win. Because you deserve more. Because you are more. Every time you choose to face the abyss, you grow stronger. Every time you confront your fears, you take back a piece of yourself, and little by little you transform. The darkness that once terrified becomes the foundation of your strength. The pain that once held you back becomes the fuel that propels you forward. Do you see it now? Do you see how powerful you truly are? But don't just take my word for it. Prove it to yourself. Take one step today, no matter how small, toward confronting the abyss. Whether it's acknowledging a fear you've been avoiding, revisiting a failure that haunts you, or simply sitting with your discomfort instead of running from it. Take that step, and then take another, and another. Each step brings you closer to reclaiming your power. And here's the most important thing I need you to hear. The abyss is not a void, it's a gift. A painful, messy, complicated gift, but a gift nonetheless. It's an opportunity to discover what you're truly made of. To dig deep and uncover the strength you didn't know you had. To rise above the doubts, the fears, the failures, and become the person you were always meant to be. So stop running, stop hiding, turn around and face the abyss. Look it in the eye and say, "You do not own me. You do not control me. I am stronger than you." And then step forward. Not with fear, but with purpose, because you are stronger than you think, braver than you believe, and more powerful than you've ever imagined. This is your moment, your turning point, the day you stop being afraid of the abyss and start conquering it. The day you take back your power and begin to transform the darkness into light. The day you prove to yourself that you are unstoppable. The darkness may seem infinite, but so is your potential. For every shadow, there is a light waiting to break through. For every fear, there is a courage buried beneath, waiting to rise. I want you to think about the abyss differently now, not as an ending, but as the beginning of something greater, the place where transformation happens, where weakness is burned away to reveal unshakable strength. You've heard it said that adversity builds character, but let me tell you this, adversity doesn't just build character, it reveals it. In the face of challenges, you see your true self. You see the fighter, the warrior, the survivor. The abyss doesn't create your strength, it only draws it out. It forces you to dig deeper than you thought possible, to endure more than you believed you could. When you stand at the edge of the abyss, you have two choices. You can step back, retreat into the comfort of the familiar, and let the shadows claim more of your life. Or you can step forward into the unknown, into the fear, into the challenge. It's not an easy choice, but it's the only choice that leads to growth. Comfort doesn't create greatness, struggle does. Let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you stopped running? If you turned to face the abyss with open eyes and an open heart? What would you discover about yourself in that moment of confrontation? I promise you this. You would find strength you didn't know existed. You would find clarity where there was once confusion. You would find purpose where there was once doubt. The journey into the abyss is not a straight path. It's not a neat, orderly process. It's messy, chaotic, and often painful. But it's also beautiful. It's the kind of beauty that comes from transformation, from growth, from becoming more than you ever thought possible. And isn't that what you truly want? To become more, to rise above, to transcend the limits you once thought defined you. Every step you take into the abyss is a victory. Every moment you spend facing your fears, embracing your pain, is a moment of triumph. You are not defined by the darkness. You are defined by your ability to rise from it. To take what was meant to break you and use it to make you stronger. To take what was meant to hold you back and use it as the fuel that drives you forward. You are not alone in this journey. Many have stood where you stand now, looking into their own abyss. They felt the same fear, the same doubt, the same hesitation, and yet they chose to step forward. They chose to rise, to fight, to transform. And if they could do it, so can you. This journey is yours to take. The abyss is your teacher, your forge, your proving ground, and you are more than ready for it. So take that step and don't look back. The abyss is waiting to reveal the greatness within you.